What is the pleasure of doing such a challenging journey? Uh, there are many pleasures and there are a lot of painful things. Obviously, the journey is very difficult. You don't get food at time, you don't get good water, you are sleeping anywhere. So why I am doing it? What joy I am getting out of it? It's very hard to explain to you guys, but once you start doing it, you start finding the freedom within yourself. You start enjoying this idea of being with yourself so much that you don't want anything more. When you are walking, there is no deadline or there is no time limit. Every day you are watching sunrise from new place, you are sleeping with a new sunset, and everything gives you a feeling of newness. Every day you feel you are born again, and every night you die, next morning you are born again. So it's a constant journey of sort of birth and rebirth. So yes, is government taking actions to preserve those sacred rivers? Uh, to preserve rivers, we have to understand the river first, and the people who makes plan are usually what they have read through books, or they have seen a certain part of the river, and the plan they make are usually very mediocre plan. Like for example, on the name of cleaning Ganga, they are making very fancy ghats, and making ghat is not very good for the ecology of a river. If you make a ghat, if you make a brick ghat, it shrinks the river, it stops its for it to expand, and then they are saying we are cleaning the wastage and everything. I don't see much of clean wastage getting dumped. It's usually the industrial waste still getting dumped directly into the river, and so many factories, so many new factories are being set up near the river, and every sort of waste goes into the water. Most of the waste of industries and city, it all goes to the river, and on the name of cleanliness they are only doing picking up the waste drive, or making fancy parks on the banks of river. Most of their efforts are useless, to be honest. Is spiritual journey tough? Uh, First of all, we have to understand what spiritual journey is. Lot of people have very fancy and vague ideas uh, by listening to these internet gurus, that this is spiritual, rising your chakras is spiritual, and so on and so on. So first we have to understand what spiritual life is. But anything we try to do sincerely is going to be tough. When you work really hard towards something, chances are high that your life will become more difficult. They say when we live a life of truthfulness, it's a beautiful life. Definitely it is a beautiful life, but it is much tougher life. You have to basically let go of everything that is not you, and letting go of the things which we identify with is very difficult, obviously. So yes, it's a difficult life, but it's worth doing, worth living this sort of life. Aren't you escaping from the world? Where I am escaping from the world? Well, I am in the world, and this kind of question, when people say it, and I observe these kind of people who put such a question. Initially I used to not answer about this question, but lot of time I think and I feel when people say such thing, oh, I am taking care of so many people, I am taking care of my family, I am taking care of the world, I am helping society. All these people uh, are living in a big illusion. You can't really take care of anybody. Things get taken care of whether you are there or not there. And escaping the world is like there's nowhere to escape. Uh, what I find escape is that you want to do something and you are giving XYZ excuses not to do it. So, for me that is escaping the world. I am really trying or making a sincere effort to live the way I want to do. So, yes, I do not think I am escaping anything. How do you handle negative criticism? Well, each sort of criticism gives us an opportunity to test what we are doing, whether we really want to do it or not. If somebody criticism is making us stop do the things we want to do, we will realize that these are the things we really did not want to do. So, whenever you are being criticized, it is an opportunity for us to observe ourselves whether we are on the right path or not. And there are some sort of really negative and stupid people. Those kind of people I totally ignore. Do you like walking alone or with walkers joining you in this journey? I like both. Before I used to walk alone. I was not allowing other people to join me in my journey because that time I was not fully open to receiving other people. My heart was still not very welcoming. So, in that moment I preferred to walk alone, but during the last walk when I was walking with Kaveri somewhere in Tamil Nadu, this thought came on its own. Now if people want to join, let them join, because now I feel I am in that sort of thought process or that sort of mind you can say that whether I am walking with people or whether I am walking alone, my thought or whatever I am thinking or feeling or whatever I am observing does not get disturbed. So, yes, I enjoy both. When I am walking alone, I am happy, and when people are walking with me, I like that too, because each person comes with a very unique perspective of seeing life, and it also gives me an opportunity to understand all sort of minds and all kind of people. So, it sort of creates some more acceptance in me towards the world when different set of people come. Do you screen people by any means who wants to join you? I don't really screen people. It's usually on the first come first serve basis, but I only expect one thing from them, like whatever dates they commit they should come, because there are other people also who wants to join. So, when somebody is making a commitment, I only have one expectation. So, when they make that commitment, they come on that date, because I have to accommodate other people who wants to join as well. Did you meet Ganga Ma on the way? Well, I met Ganga all day because I was walking with Ganga, and I didn't meet Ganga in the sort of way how they show in TV serial that some woman will appear on a crocodile. No, I did not meet that sort of Ganga Ma, but I did meet Ganga who is inside me. I did meet my inner voice, and I think what Ganga has done in my life is is incomparable. She has taught me incredible amount of things. She has brought me to some really amazing teachers, and she has shown me some beautiful sceneries. So yes, I have met Ganga. I keep meeting Ganga every day. How do you feel after walking this much so far? I feel very good. I feel happy. I feel like dancing, and I feel yes, I that's how I feel. Did God talk to you? So, what is God? You are God, so you are talking to me. I am God, I am talking to myself. These ants are God, these peacocks are gods, this phone is also God. So, if that's your idea of God too, then yes, God is talking to me. And again, if you have that idea of God, that God will appear with 1,000 heads and 1,000 hands, um, I have not met such a God, and I don't wish to meet such a God as well, because meeting such a God is not going to help me in any way. What are walking essentials? The most important walking essential is your feet. Uh, you should have healthy feet, healthy body, and you should have a intention to walk, that as long as I am walking, I am going to be here. So yes, the most important ingredient of walking is a healthy body and an intention to start the walk. Apart from that, you keep 2-3 pairs of clothes when you are going on a journey. You have a small backpack with sleeping bag, yoga mat, and little bit of money, some dry fruits you can keep, and a water bottle. That should be enough. Yes. Are you missing anything due to this walk? Not really. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I would be missing something, I would be doing that thing first. Uh, I usually don't suppress my desire. Whatever I feel, I try to fulfill it, or observe it, that whether whatever I'm missing, if I'm missing, whether I really want it or not. And once you look back at any of your desire, you will realize that you didn't really want to do this. It was very momentary, and when it happened, even whether you got it or you did not get it, you feel the same. What do you do in free time? I am always free, my time is always free. So, but when I am not walking, I usually relax, I read a little bit, I sit a little bit, I browse some social media also, and I look around. I also like to write. That's it. Before Yamuna walk, do you have any prior experience in walking? Yes, for last 6-7 years I have been walking. My first walk was 1800 kilometer long journey from Banaras to Gomukh, to the source of Ganga. I also did Narmada Parikrama, which is almost 3500 kilometer long walk. I walked in mountains of Ladakh and in some parts of Himalayas. Last year I also walked with Kaveri river, almost 2000 kilometer long distance. So yes, I do have little experience of walking. What is one thing you miss the most right now? For past 2-3 days I want to eat a nice sandwich which I am not getting, but it's fine too. What does walking do for you? Uh, Walking brings me to the moment when I take such sort of journey. Uh, it always brings me to this moment. It always brings me to my home, which is my breath. Some wise people say that home is where your breath is. So I never understood this, but in past 2-3 years during these walks I have come to understand this fact. Actually home is where I am. So walking gives me a sense of home everywhere. Where do you charge your devices? I keep 2 power banks with me, and wherever I am staying, in ashrams, temples or in hotels, usually there is electricity. Right now there is electricity almost everywhere in India, so charging the devices is not a very big problem. Are you enlightened? Well, we skip this question. What spirituality means to you? For me, spiritual life is being really truthful to how I want to live or what I want to do in my life. Uh, for example, I wanted to walk, I am walking, but if one day I feel like, let us say 1 month later, 2 months later, or 1 year later, or even today, if I feel like that no, this is not what I don't want to do, this is not my calling, I should have the courage to stop doing it and again start from the beginning. So in a way, for me spiritual life is always being brutally honest with your inner voice. Always listen to your voice, whatever it is telling you to do, no matter how hard the path is of your inner voice. It is my fundamental duty to really do this. I should not be doing things to prove to anybody or to achieve anything, but just listen to the voice of my heart and go wherever it takes me.